Hello everyone, it's Anna Wheaton here from Nudge Nudge Ink Ink. I am creating a card today using the Seize the Day stamp set and the matching dies, which are called the Sea dies. It's a beautiful coordinating bundle, and we've got a couple of sets in the annual catalogue that have one of these lovely frames to showcase the rest of the images and cutouts from the stamp set. You'll notice here that there is a mixture of dies. Some of them will match up with what is in the stamp set. I'll just pop those in place. I better, oh, this one you've got to rotate till you get it right. The crab, the octopus, and the fish, which are just here. Then you've got some words, and then you've got these two that can be stamped. But left over in your dies is this that can be used alone, and these two which will cut out the shapes but don't need any stamping, and then some bubbles so you can actually cut through your paper for those. So it's great. Stampin' Up is doing that more and more, where you've got a variety of dies, some of which match the stamps and some of which will cut out some shapes that you can use without the stamps. Just checking I've got them all. Okay, so we're going to use that frame, and I've got our beautiful glimmer paper. That's the Rainbow Glimmer Paper. So it's I can decide whether I can have the blue as though that's the top, like this, the surface of the water. I might do it that way. And I'll show you another colour that I've cut out, and that is the other end of the paper has more yellows and oranges in it. So I'll show you cutting this out, because I've got a tip for you. I'll bring in my stamp cut and emboss machine. And the plates, I'm using my magnetic plate because we don't have one for the stamp cut and emboss machine, and yet it's a very handy thing, and it will fit. So your Sizzix magnetic plate will fit. So I can send that through between two clear plates. And then what I suggest you do, because this is thicker paper, is just to pick up your die and your paper, change its direction, and send it back through. That way you'll be sure to cut all the way through. And then that should come out easily. We've got that mystery piece from the middle, and then you'll have just a few little bits to just pop out with. Oh, I've got most of them. Okay, so we've got that. Then I'm going to use a piece of the Celebration Simply Marvelous paper, which is a pack of 6x6 paper that is free during Celebration with a $90 order. So you can see there's a choice of two sides, both of which look beautiful with these ocean images, but I'm going to go with this one just because I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. And I just think it will show up a little bit better there. That is that little bit of foliage, and then we're going to add some fishy bubbles. I'm just sort of guessing at where my fish might be, like so. I'm now going to glue that straight onto there. You might... Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use this. I've cut a few things out of the Simply Marvelous paper that I've stamped on them. So instead of stamping on white, I have stamped on the paper, and I've also used it just to cut this one out without stamping. But what it does is it just gives you a little bit of colour and a little bit of texture, because the paper is patterned. So I'm going to stick that behind there so that it will show through, like so. Then the other advantage is, see, I've cut out the octopus and the fish, and so the edge of them isn't quite as stark as it would be on white. So I'll add a little bit of my seal. It's seal. I still call it snail. So I've got a bit of a double layer there of the stamped and the die cut image. Okay, that then allows me to add my octopus. Actually, I'm going to put him on the front there. I can add him flat, or I can add him with dimensionals, but I just went for the flat. And then I will grab my dimensionals for the fish. The other thing you can do is, we have 2 other sets of dies, at least. There are the Sea Life dies in the annual catalogue and the Seaside Shells dies in the annual catalogue. So I have a little bit of gold foil. Is it gold or silver? Silver foil that I've cut out from the one of those that I'm going to use. And I'm just going to trim it down. I don't want it to be quite that big. And you can see how there's a bit of commonality. See how similar that is to that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of my seal and tuck that in behind there. So you can keep adding things to that. And then I'll get this little bit, which will end up being quite short, but that's okay. And add, that didn't work. Add that as well. Another thing you can do is just have something, you can always have things trailing down from the top also. Okay, my fish, I'm going to use my dimensionals. A normal size dimensional would fit behind them, but I'm just going to use the minis because then I'm sure that I'm not going to have anything poking out the side. And I'll put one there because he's the one creating the bubbles. Let's put him in between those reeds. And the other one I'll put up here. Now, if you find, you can see that that is just, that's just sort of bowing a little bit. I was going to grab, I grab a mini glue dot, and I can just roll that up with my little tool, and I can slide that in under there. Oop. And that just adds a little bit of extra sticky. I've just found a little dot in there, naughty dot. Okay, then this is full of beautiful sentiments that are all punny. Seize the day, wishing you oceans of happiness, thanks from the depths of my heart. So I've got one of those that I've already pre-stamped, and I'll add that also. That may even look better with a gorgeous grape circle rather than white. I didn't think of that. And let's see, we'll put it here. Then I'll grab my card base. and attach that. What I don't have nearby, but I will add once I've finished, that card base seems short. That's better. Are some little rhinestones. But there you have it. Rainbow Glimmer Paper and the Seascape dies and stamp set for something a little different.